and welcome back. I feel like it has been so long. I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since I've even posted a video, not to mention anything that's been like fueling hack related. So I'm super excited to bring you this video today. I've gotten so many requests for different things, so I tried to narrow it down to the top 4 most requested fuelings. So let me show you which ones we're gonna be doing, and then we'll jump right into the recipes because like I said, I'm just so stinking excited. Anyway, so the first one we're gonna be doing is the Parmesan cheese puffs. I've gotten so many requests from this, so I've got a recipe for this, and I'm really actually excited to do that for you. I'm gonna be doing the Chia Bliss smoothie. I know a lot of you have been requesting this one, so we'll be doing that one today. Another really big one, and this one was the hardest for me because I never had these, not even once on my journey, is the oatmeal. So I have one of the apple cinnamon oatmeals that we're gonna hack a little bit. And then the last thing is, this is not something that I see too terribly often, but I do see it sometimes, which was a shock to me because these are my favorite. I have one of the cookies, the chocolate chip cookies. So I'm gonna show you a way to hack that as well. And then I also plan on making a video pretty soon that's just tips overall. Tips for program, tips for, you know, different fuelings, things you can do with multiple fuelings. So let's get started with today's hacks. And the first thing we're gonna start with is our oatmeal today. Okay, so the main problems and the main complaints that I hear about the OPTAVIA oatmeal is it's bland and you don't like the consistency. So we're gonna do 2 things to completely change that. We're gonna make them into cookies to make the consistency a little different. And we're also gonna add a couple of things to change up the flavor just a little bit. So let's get to that. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is set the oven to preheat at 350. So let's talk a little bit about the ingredients you're gonna need for this recipe. You're of course gonna need the oatmeal. You're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. You'll need 1/2 packet of stevia or Splenda. You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of sugar-free syrup. Make sure it's sugar-free. And you're gonna need some water. Now we're gonna add all of it together and combine it in this bowl. I'm gonna let this sit for 5 minutes. I'm gonna let that baking powder kind of sit in there and maybe thicken it up just a bit before we actually put this onto a cookie sheet and bake it. You'll see when you do this that it's pretty watery, and so we want this to thicken up a bit. So I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes and then we'll come back. Okay, now that it's been 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting my cookies onto my parchment paper. I always bake on parchment paper, but you can definitely just do it on a greased cookie sheet if you'd like to. As you can see, it's thickened up a bit, which is great. I don't know if you can actually see that, but it has. It's thickened up a lot. So I'm just gonna put drops of this. Keep them pretty far apart because these will spread. Making a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. Robbie says the kitchen is made for messes. I think that's because I'm the one that cleans the kitchen, so I don't really see it that way. Okay, so I'm going to throw this into my oven now for 15 minutes. Hopefully these are gonna come out good. They look a little watery, but we'll see how things go. All right, so they've just come out of the oven. They are a little softer than you would think, but they're still really gonna be delicious. All 6 of these. You get all 6 of these, you guys. Whew, you could probably throw them in for a little bit longer if you wanted them to crisp up some, depending on how you like your oatmeal cookies. But these are actually worth 1 fueling and 2 1/4 condiments. So enjoy those. Okay, now we're gonna get to probably my favorite fueling hack of the day, and that's the chocolate chip cookie. Okay, the ingredients for this one are super simple. You're gonna need, of course, your chocolate chip cookie fueling. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of 1/3 less fat or reduced fat cream cheese. And then you're also gonna need some PB2. Now I've run out of PB2 and I'm also in maintenance, so I am gonna use almond butter in its place. I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon of almond butter. You'll use 1 tablespoon of PB2. Let's get started. So I don't think I've told you this, but we're actually gonna make this filling into a peanut butter chocolate chip cookie dough cheesecake. Yeah, you heard that correctly. So, or almond butter in my case. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put just enough of my fueling powder into the bottom of my ramekin to make a little crust. And you may have to keep adding water. You're gonna add water in to make the crust, but just a little bit of water to just a little bit of fueling powder, you'll see. You want it to be kind of thick because this is gonna work as your crust. So maybe a little more powder than water. I added a little more powder because I want it to cover the bottom of the ramekin completely. And then I'm gonna push it out to the edges. Not perfect, but it'll do. I'm gonna throw it in the microwave for 20 seconds just to harden up a bit. While my cheesecake crust is now cooling, I'm going to make the filling in a separate bowl. So I'm gonna pour the rest of my chocolate chip cookie filling into the bowl. I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of reduced fat cream cheese, if I can get it open. I don't know why that was so hard. I'm gonna add in my 1 tablespoon of almond butter. Like I said, you'll use 1 tablespoon of PB2. You can use the chocolate or you can use the peanut butter if you'd like to. And the next thing I'm gonna do is pour in some more water, and I'm just gonna start stirring this until it's cheesecake consistency. It might be a little lumpy, and that's okay. And then in order to assemble the cheesecake, I'm just gonna pour this on top of our crust. And then this will go in the freezer, not the refrigerator, the freezer for about 45 minutes to an hour. If it goes in there longer than that, you can always throw it in the microwave for 20 seconds or so to lighten it back up because you don't want it to be frozen, just cheesecake-like. So throw it in the freezer for 45 minutes to an hour and then you'll enjoy it. Here is my cheesecake. So excited for this. My almond butter / PB2 chocolate chip cheesecake. Let me grab a spoon. For you guys, this will equal 1 fueling, 1 condiment, and 1 optional snack. For me, it doesn't really matter, but you can also use the cream cheese as half of your healthy fat as well. It's amazing, so good. Try it out, you'll love it. I love it, it's great. So we're gonna go ahead and do this one. This one is actually not that hard, but do not use water. Do not use water. I saw the idea for this on one of our Facebook groups and I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess I could waffle it. I didn't read the instructions on how they did it. I just thought, oh, well, easy, I can do it like I do my mashed potatoes. And I used water and it comes out terribly each time. So no water, we're actually gonna use egg beaters and some baking powder. But let me get a bowl first. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this into the bowl. I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons of this egg beaters. And then I'm gonna use 1 whole teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm gonna go ahead and mix all this together. The batter is gonna be super, super, super thick, and that's okay. I have a really large waffle maker. You may not have as big of a waffle maker as me, so you can make, you know, a couple waffles out of this. I'm probably gonna get half of a waffle. You can see it's super thick. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray my waffle maker as we should always do, and then we'll get this started. Okay, I've sprayed the waffle maker. I'm now gonna go ahead and pour this onto the bottom 2 triangles, maybe just the one bottom triangle. Yeah, we can do 2. Close it and turn up the heat just a little bit. And we'll let that sit there for a couple minutes. I'm gonna start with about 2 minutes to see what happens. Ta-da! Let me grab a plate. Oh yeah, this is the perfect consistency. Yum! Okay, let's top it. Okay, so I'm a little strange. I'm okay with sugar-free syrup, but I'd rather have like something creamy on top. So what better than cream cheese? I'm gonna be using 1/3 less fat or reduced fat cream cheese, and I'm just gonna put probably a half a tablespoon on it and let it melt a little bit. Let's do that. Okay, so this baby equals 1 fueling, 3 condiments, 1 of those being the cream cheese, 2 of those being your baking powder, and 1/8 of your lean for the day. Let's try it out. To me, it tastes like a bagel and cream cheese. It's really good. I think we have all winners for this fueling hacks video. Okay, so the last fueling we're gonna be doing is the garlic Parmesan poppers, and we're actually gonna be breading chicken with them. If you haven't seen this before, it is actually so simple, and it's a really good way to get rid of these if they're not your favorite, and also just get some good protein in too. So let me show you this. For this fueling hack, you're obviously gonna need the garlic Parmesan poppers. You're gonna need 3 ounces of chicken. I have chicken tenders that are just chicken cut into tenders. So I'm gonna cut this in half and cut this into little bite-sized pieces in a second. And the last thing you're gonna need is 1 egg. Okay, so like I said a second ago, the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and cut my chicken into bite-sized pieces, and then I'm going to whip up 1 egg and crush my garlic Parmesan poppers. Is I'm going to bathe, put my chicken in an egg wash, and then I'm going to roll them around in this, and then they're going to go in my air fryer basket. If you don't have an air fryer, first of all, you need one because they're amazing, but you can always throw it into your oven at 400 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. Just watch it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these coated and put into my basket. Okay, they're in, they're ready to go. I'm gonna throw them in the air fryer. And I'm gonna set it to 400. And I'm gonna bring this down to about 8 minutes and see where it is at that time. Okay, this has to be my favorite fueling hack ever. Look at how nice and brown and good these look. This is gonna be amazing. By the way, this does equal 1 lean and 1 fueling. So if you have one of those days where you're just running, and you haven't gotten all your fuelings in, and it's been a late day, try this. But oh my gosh, yeah, I was right. This is my favorite fueling hack ever. So good, so crispy. I might do it just maybe a minute to a minute and a half less. It's a little burnt, and that's my fault, but the chicken is cooked perfectly. The fueling, you can't taste, like I know a lot of you don't like the garlic. You can't really taste it. It just tastes like chicken nuggets. So try it out, y'all. You have to try that one. If you don't try any of these, you have to try this one. So thank you guys so much for watching today's Fueling Hacks video. I can't wait to get this out to you. In fact, I'm gonna go and start editing it right now. So I wanna start a contest, a really cool contest. With OPTAVIA convention coming up in July and so many cool things happening in OPTAVIA, I just think this will be really awesome to kind of keep our team going. So here's the contest. I want you to email me down below your favorite fueling hacks that you've made up or you've tried, or maybe they're team fueling hacks, and then I'm gonna pick my 4 favorite to make a video about. I'm gonna give you 2 weeks to get this fueling hack recipe sent in to me. And then like I said, after that 2 weeks, I'll pick my 4 favorite and we'll make a video about it. I'll even give you a shout out on the channel because I'm super thankful for all of you that watch, and I'm really glad that you like these fueling hacks. As always, if you have any other fuelings that you'd like for me to hack, please send them to me in an email, drop them down below in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We are a wonderful family here on this channel, and we are really good at supporting and raising each other up. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching today, and I love you all, and God bless you.